Thank you for joining us today for a brief demonstration on a small but important part of our Advantage Enterprise software package. Comsense offers a software package that is specific to the door and hardware industry, where other software systems may only cover aspects such as estimating, detailing, and scheduling, generally referred to as the front-end application. Comsense's enterprise system covers both the front-end as well as the distribution aspect of the business, referred to commonly as the back-end application. The back-end manages everything from order processing, inventory control, accounting, purchasing, customer service, supply chain management, and finance management. Together, they represent the Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP, solution for your entire organization. System integration is bringing together both the front-end and back-end applications and ensuring that these subsystems function together as one unified system. Comsense continues to be the only software provider that offers this one unified single vendor solution. One software vendor, one support group. I'll be showing you today a portion of Comsense's Advantage software, which can be extremely useful for tracking your company's success when tendering projects. I am speaking about the estimating and bid management portion of our software. I don't think I was much different than anyone else in thinking I was doing a good job following up on projects and knowing how I was doing overall with my quotes. The problem I didn't realize is that without accurate data and specifics, you're not able to recognize where your company's strengths and weaknesses are. This seems to be a common issue for many distributors. Our program makes the whole process easier to work with and provides instant reporting options at your fingertips. Although the program cannot make the follow-up calls on those bids for you, it will even remind you when to make those calls, as you'll see later on. We're going to start a demonstration today on the bid management section. Bid management revolves around the recipients, where our estimating management revolves around the job name. We would like to take this opportunity to show you how Comsense is able to populate these reports with a few clicks of a button. We will also show you how you can change criteria for these reports without having to look up any other data or waste any further time or resources. As you can see by the columns here, we have many different options for types of reports that you may want to do. You can do it by project name, the bid recipient name, bid submittal date, architect, project type, city or location, total building costs, the sections that you've bid on, your bid statuses, contract amounts, estimated costs, total estimated costs, total contract amounts, gross profit, section status, bid due date, project rating. The information that is first entered when a job is being created controls quite a bit of the reporting. So I would like to start at the very beginning to give you a summary of the information and where it's being gathered from. Not all the information needs to be filled in these areas, but the more information you have, the better. It will be able to provide you with more accurate information when you're doing your reporting. As you can see here, you have a project code or job number, the job name plus its location, the architect information, the user, project type, in this case it's a school, your company's territory that it's located in, the company division that's doing the job, you have a total building cost, and a rating. The rating is a self-populated field that you control through your maintenance window and miscellaneous tables. As you can see here, I have got a 5-number system, with 1 being the highest chance, 5 being the lowest chance. This will enable you to run some reports that different managers in your building may find useful. You want to find out the number of high chance jobs that you bid on versus the number that you've received, and how many of the long shot projects that you've received that you weren't expecting. During the initial setup, they will also have to go to the activities page. The activities page is where you would enter any tasks that need to be done for a specific job. As you can see, we have written in here price and review for bidding to be done on August 30th. This is also where you would put your reminder to follow up your bids by right-clicking and clicking on Add, double-click on a window, and it brings up your Enter Activities details. The subject that we're going to use today is follow-up. Again, this is a self-populated list that would be done at the beginning of entering in your system. The type of activity is going to be an estimating activity. We're going to have it, and the date entered is today's date, and the activity will be follow up on bid. The due date for doing this will be, let's say, today's date. The follow-up will be today's date. I figured it's going to take 1 hour to do that task. Click OK, and it's automatically added to your screen. This will show up on your today screen. Do a refresh, and automatically it should show up that on August or September 9th, you've got one activity to do. Double click on that, and it's telling you to follow up on this job. Now back to our screen. When they've entered in your activities, they need the initial entry, they need to go to the Sections tab. The Sections tab shows all the sections that you're going to be bidding on. This can be populated independently at the beginning of the job, or after you've entered all your products for pricing. Each section that you put a price in for will automatically be added to this screen. To add a section to this screen or manually enter it, you simply click on your section picker and you put in a check mark for any section that you want included. This can become useful if you are initially setting up the job and then passing it off to an estimator, and you have self-populated these fields. When that estimator gets the job and looks at it, they will know exactly which sections that you are expecting them to do pricing on. Once the sections are populated, make sure that the status is in the proper status as open. You can put your estimator's name in here, your inside salesperson, and as you can see, it self-populates all the way through your sections, and the outside salesperson. Again, all this information is being done at the initial order entry. Bid due date is very important to put in here, as this controls most of the reporting that we're going to be doing. Double click in your box, pick the date, tab out of it, and it will populate all sections with the same date. These can be overridden in case one section is being closed on a different closing date. Our next tab is our Bids tab. The Bids tab is where you would add all your contractors that you're going to be pricing the job to. This is done by right-clicking, Add Recipient, search all your contractors that you have been dealing with, double-click on one, and simply tab across, filling in the information. If you have contact names, you would choose that. Type of media, email, fax, phone, and then again the bid date. We're just going to use today as the bid date, submitted by, and then down here it comes down, it's an active status, and then here it'll go to quoted. This again is a self-populated field controlled up through your maintenance window down to recipient bid status. You can determine what you want to put in here, and you can determine which one you want to be as a default. As you can see here, I've selected quoted as my default, so anytime I add in a contractor, that section will automatically go to quoted. You will need to come back in here to adjust this status once you've received your bid information. So again, all this information is being populated when the original order is being entered into the system for pricing. So once you've gotten all your information, the next step you need to do is you need to go back with that information and update your statuses. So when we go in here, we go back to our project, call your project up. You need to go to that section and change the status for each of these sections. If you've been awarded a status, when you sell the job, this status will change to sold automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. However, if there was a portion of the job that you did not get, you can put in here lost bid. When you click on lost bid, this pop-up window shows up asking if you would like all associated product to be set by others. What that means is when you do your hardware schedule or your door schedule, it will automatically show that these products are by others. In this case, I will select yes. Once you've made sure that the status here is correct, then you need to go to your bids tab, and here you will go by contractor, showing what jobs that you've gotten. So on this job here, I'm going to go here. I got awarded the hollow metal. It's going to come up and ask if you want all sections covered with the same response. I've said yes because I am going to change just a couple of them. We lost our fiberglass doors, and I'm going to say they did not carry the price. And we lost our wood doors, but they carried our wood door price but lost the bid for the wood doors. So once this has been done, we can save and close this window. So again, this information is being put in once you've done your follow-up to the job and you've updated your bid statuses. So by consistently following these simple procedures, you now have the following bid and estimate management data analysis at your fingertips, with no other further data to be required. So we go back to our bid management screen, and as mentioned earlier, the reports here are based on the recipients of your quotes, and the list will be arranged alphabetically. You will notice that all jobs that have been entered are now listed on this page. There will be a specific row for each recipient, for each job, and for each section. You may not want to review your entire history and only want to do a specific report. This can easily be achieved by going into the blank filter line up above the columns here, and you can enter the criteria that you would like to check. By entering data in the top row, you will filter down your list. We'll enter in a recipient's name here, and we'll just go CL, and that brings up all the recipients with CL in the name, and as you can see here, it's Closer Force, and only the jobs that we have bid to Closer Force are showing up on this page. I'd like to point out to the bottom of the page, it shows you the number of recipients as being 1, the total contract amount, and total estimated cost. These will be the totals for all jobs and all sections that have been bid on to this one recipient. We will now clear the filter line and check something else. By doing the same process, we can check projects or jobs that have been awarded. We simply slide over to our bid status, click up here, awarded, do a search, and as you can see, it is now showing only the jobs that have been awarded to that specific customer. You can clear all your sections, pick awarded here, click on it again, and it will show you all your awarded jobs to any of your recipients. We have added a feature that allows the user to adjust what columns show up on their window. By double-clicking any of the column titles, our advanced grid layout window pops up. Any of the columns that have a check mark on the left-hand side will show on your screen. So we allow you to adjust which columns you want to see depending on what type of reports you want to run. We also allow you to change the order by simply dragging that down. You can change the order of where your columns lay. We also allow you to change the display sequence, your sort sequence, which is how your information is populated, and if you wanted ascending or descending. Click on OK and your columns will adjust automatically. Another option for doing reports is to click on the bid recipient listing icon up at the top. A window will pop up asking you for dates. This reporting allows you to check the status of your jobs that you have bid to one or more of your recipients. For our example today, we will look up the information for one recipient over the last 3 months. So we'll do a start date. June 9th to September 9th. Click Next. It's going to ask you which division of your company do you want this report to include. We only have one division, so we'll click Next. And which customers do you want to include on this report as well? Well, we're going to do Closer Force. Add them. Click Next. And automatically it's going to assume that you want to include all bid statuses. These can all be removed, and you can remove just the ones that you want to include, or you can just add them all. When you click on Finish, you automatically have a report filled out. Your company name would be at the top, the bid recipient listing title, the start date June 9th, end date September 9th, and it shows that your recipient is Closer Force, located at 1 Main Street, District of Columbia, and it will list every job that you've priced out to this customer. It will show you the sections that you've provided pricing for, the status of that section, the bid date, the bid values, and your gross margin. The salesperson would be entered, and the estimator, if that information is there, as well as any notes that you've included for this. And this would continue right through to the very end, where at the very bottom it will give you a summary overall by status. Here we are showing that under the awarded section, these different sections have all been awarded over time for a total of $445,000. The average gross margin, the number of bids that included. For did not carry price, there's been 2 different sections with 3 different jobs for a total of $47,000. And where they've carried their price but lost the job, again, all the different sections, the dollar values, the gross margin, and the number of bids. So there's been 1 recipient with a total of 10 project bids. So this report can be either saved onto your computer, you can save it actually onto the job in your software program, or print it out and use whichever way you need to use it. If you're not wanting that report, the other option you have, and it is a very nice feature, is our ability to export to Excel. By right-clicking, click on Export to Excel. It's going to ask you where you want it saved, what the job is, we save it, and it automatically populates our Excel spreadsheet with the information that was showing on our report. The nice thing about Excel is by clicking under the Insert tab, you can utilize their pivot tables. The pivot tables allow you to create a chart based on the information from your Excel spreadsheet. For our example on this chart, I want to see what type of projects I have bid to my recipients and the dollar value that I've been done in each of those sections. So we're going to take our bid recipient name, put that down as our row, and it automatically populates over here on the left hand side. If there's anybody you don't want included, simply click on the drop down arrow, take the check mark off the section that you don't want included, click OK, and it'll adjust your list accordingly. The next thing we'll do is click on project type and put that onto our columns. So now here it will show all of our project types that we've chosen. Once again, you can click on the drop down, uncheck that one section, and it takes the box out of the chart. Now I wanted to add in the dollar value for all the projects that I've bid on those. So I'm going to click on take contract amount here, put that under values. Automatically it will give you the number of contracts, but I wanted to know the dollar value. By coming back down here, clicking on the drop down arrow and choosing value field settings, a pop-up window comes with all your choices of what you're able to choose, but I just want the sum. Click on OK, and you now can instantly see what type of projects you've been bidding on, to which of our recipients you've been pricing, and what the total value is of the jobs that you've put those bids on. We're able to take this even one step further by clicking up here on the pivot chart. You can now put in any kind of a graph that you would like to do, whether it be a line graph, a bar graph, pie charts. The choices here are quite large. We're just going to do a simple column graph. Put that in. It automatically is populated from the information we have here and gives you a really nice breakdown. So once again, as you can see, it is extremely easy and very convenient to call up any type of report on the projects that you have without having to leave your computer or to have to go find a person to give you the updated information. By following those simple steps of entering in as much information at the beginning of entering a project, and by entering in the updated statuses once somebody has found out those statuses, it enables you to prepare reports with as much in-depthness as you'd like, or as simple as you would like. We'll now take a look at the estimating management. As we mentioned earlier, the estimate management provides information by job name and does not include the recipient's names. This section allows you to quickly and easily provide you with information that yourself or your company may want to track on a regular basis, such as total number of jobs that your company is presently working on or has worked on. How many jobs do each of your estimators have assigned to them? How many jobs do each of your salespeople have assigned to them? What projects have yet to be assigned to an estimator? How many outstanding bids you may have? How many lost bids have you done? The information on this page is very similar to the bid management screen as mentioned. You can double click on any of the columns and you still get the same choices that we had on our bid management screen, where you can delete or add certain columns. You can adjust what order they go into by dragging it and dropping it, your display sequence, your sort sequence, ascending or descending orders. Right now we'll do a quick search for high priority projects that have yet to be assigned to an estimator. First, we are going to enter the open in the status window above the column. Secondly, we'll enter the number 1 or high priority under our project rating. And then we'll go to estimator and enter in a pound number, which represents a blank field. Now instantly it gives us a list of all the jobs that have not been assigned to an estimator. However, you have a high chance in getting these jobs. This will immediately alert a manager to have an estimator assigned to these jobs and have them taken care of. Again, by clearing out our filter line, doing a search, it will come back with all of our projects. You can now enter by architect name, click search, and it will just show you what jobs you've done with a specific architect. So that concludes our demonstration today. Thank you very much for participating. Have a good day.